of the investigation in the upcoming small and medium sizes company through lead market listing. The content of the speak will be into the 3 topic: introduction, literature review, and research design. There's more. The lead market being the third board introduced by Bursa Malaysia, which is a Malaysia Stock Exchange, since 2017. This is actually mainly target for the SME corporation. And why so? Because Malaysia have a lot of SME compared to the bigger size of the company. There in 2016 is recorded about 1.3 million company, which is occupy about 98.5% of the business and organization in size of SME. In order to qualify to list in the lead market, it must be the enterprise must set up a corporation governed under the Malaysia Act, which is the Malaysia Companies Act 2016. As per record in the mid of December 2021, there are about 44 counters duly listed in the lead market since implemented in 2017. That's why the Malaysia government is finding they need to find way to push in this capital market. The shares is offered only to the sophisticated investor. I'll explain what is a sophisticated investor later on. So the question is, why choose in lead? The problem statement, there are limitations because it's only allowed for the sophisticated investor. Then whereby the SME being the first time maybe throughout the journey that be in the corporation, in the listed company, they have no clear guides on the future fundraise, because what they do is only the first time when they raise in IPO. Then later on, they do not find any value. Yeah. Okay. The lead market is mainly for the platform. The platform, because Malaysia still have the ACE market and main market. Are you sending any message to me? Can I carry on? Okay, the research question. Why choose to list in lead market? Okay. How does the promoter benefit from the lead market? When can the non-niche investor able to participate in lead market? Because the market, it seems, not mobilized enough. What can make the change of the ruling? Then next we move on. We move on to the research objective, to analyze what factor attract to enter into the lead market and what is lagging for the future growth, as well as what is the barrier for the non-niche investor, which is those not named as sophisticated investor. We call it SI in short, to find out the alternative solution in the delay of approval. Malaysia lead market is also governed under the CMSA, which is a Capital Market Service Act 2007, which is by our Security Commission. Under the literature review, there's one case is very close about the entire journey, which is happened in Germany, the country of Germany. But the time is like the investor are those are venture capital. Then they actually look into this potential company, then they decide to list the company. There are other similar market in worldwide. They are in Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, and Taiwan, Korea, and so on. conceptual framework for the listing. So we have the independent variable and the dependent variable. The independent, I will just indicate the four major ones, which is the nature of business, the new technology, of course, in this new era, the organization structure, and the financial status. Then with all these criteria, it can actually mainly for the success in the listing. We move on to the key factors affecting the timing. They actually, in terms of the exchange, they have actually provided some waiver in order to encourage for the listing, and there are no time frame set for this listing. The moment is also depends on the advisor, then how fast they can work to complete the data and also the research and the paper submission. Then the next, we look at the research design and methodology. We will focus why the factors are attracting. Then the research design. The company must comply towards the listing requirement of the Bursa Malaysia. Of course, there's the exchange will have their own guideline. There's CMSA. Now we actually mentioned the SI. The SI is very important because only those SI can trade in the lead market. So what is their criteria for the individual? They must have the total asset and non-asset about worth of 3 million, or the yearly income for individual about 300,000, or joint income about 400,000, or the holding of a public share 1 million. Whereby for the corporation, partnership, and trust company, they must have the net asset about 10 million. Then we look into the unit analysis. Normally we'll look into the pre-listing and post-listing for the research paper purposes. The sample collect will be under the qualitative through the questionnaire, and quantitative with the secondary data extract from the website, of course, the exchange website and the individual company website, to identify whether it's a profitable or there's a volume or the advantage in the being listed in lead. Yeah? The collection of data, that's what briefly. In the conclusion, listing in their business, normally as a promoter, they would like to have the offer to the public shares. Yes, hopefully they can get a good price, but giving up the amount of effort and time spent, because of due diligence in terms of maybe some company consider quite struggle to go through it, and also costly. The advisor would take a try run. Sometimes the advisor might give the different opinion, whereby could not be practical. Then all the pre-IPO, when we do some structuring and set up some special company or just for the listing purposes, in the conceptual framework, the individual variable factor can influence towards the dependent variable. So that is part of it. Why is there a delay in the listing? The overall success also depends on the management team and the finance and the advisor as well. Time and cost too. Okay, just for sharing, there's about 44 counter listed. So the volume, you can see, is totally like not so active at this moment. Okay, that's all about my presentation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mandy, for your presentation. Anyone has a question for this presentation, please? Thank you, Doctor. We don't have a question for you.
Okay.